Hello, hello, my luxurious conjurers. I know you all are doing well. Today, I want to talk about why it is so important that you give yourself the credit, the praise, the accolades. When you see your spell, your magic, your manifestation, whatever you want to call it, your conjure work, when you see it come to fruition, when the thing that you lit the candle for, or you created the herb mixture for, you invoke the deity for, when that thing shows up for you, or when that outcome presents itself, it is so important that you give yourself praise, that you give yourself credit. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to sit up for this one. The reason is because one thing that I think is so important for conjure women to remember is that you are life force energy. You are goddess. You are goddess incarnated. And because you are goddess incarnated, every single tool that you use, every single element, every astrological transit, all the numerologies and, the water, the earth, the air, the fire, all of that, that is just an extension of you. That's an extension of who you are. And what you're doing when you use these things is you are pulling all of this very powerful energy together for it to focus on one outcome or perhaps a series of outcomes if you are performing more than one spell. I know that there are some practitioners that don't believe that it's a good idea to do that. And if you are at the very beginning of your journey of using magic in your everyday life, I would happen to agree with that it probably isn't the best thing to do at the beginning of your journey. But once you start getting some spells under your belt, once you start really identifying what works for you and what doesn't work for you, when you start realizing, like, this is where my real magic is. I am really good at root work, or I'm really good at harnessing the energy of the planets, or harnessing, water or fire or whatever. When you start really getting clear about where your superpower is, baby girl, do as many spells as you want to. One of the beautiful things also about spirituality is there is no real one way. Now, there are rules. We all have to follow rules. We all have to follow law, right? There's universal law. But in the world of spirituality, the one thing that is known to the spirit realm, to energy, that's not particularly known or agreed upon in this 3D reality is that there is only one way. That is a very religious frame of thinking, that there's only one way to get your outcome. There's never just one way to get your outcome. You can pick. But once you pick, once you identify it, once you work it, and then you see the outcome, make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror and you congratulate yourself. You give yourself praise. You take yourself out on a date. You do whatever feels good to you, whatever will uplift your energy and uplift your spirits, because that's exceptionally important. It's important for you to know to never worship anything outside of yourself. That includes the things that you're using. You, of course, pay respect to the deities. You pay respect to your ancestors. You pay respect to Mother Earth by not, littering, for example, by giving Mother Earth offering, by giving your deities offering, your ancestors praise offering. But when it comes down to worship, never worship anything outside of yourself. And the way that you never worship anything outside of yourself is by constantly giving yourself the praise and the accolades. So if you have been conjuring for money, if you have been saying, listen, I really want an opportunity, if you're the one that, like I said, put that candle to it. You're the one that aligned your spell work with a specific day at a specific hour just to make sure that you have harnessed all the energy in your favor. And then you put in that mundane work too. You put in that practical work. You set yourself up with the job interviews, or you put your products out there. You made content so that people can, purchase your service or purchase your product. You did the mundane stuff too. And then you saw that money come. Baby girl, please go praise yourself. Please go do something to adorn yourself. I just wanted to leave that little message with you today. And I hope that it reaches and it touches the person, because I genuinely can feel it, that there is someone who is conjuring, who is putting in the work. And then when the work comes, or when the manifestation, I put that in air quotes, when the manifestation comes, you're still praising God. You're still saying, thank you, God, and looking up in the sky, as opposed to sitting with yourself and appraising the God within you. The God within you that higher supreme force that's sitting right inside of you is what you worked with, is who you worked with in order to see your conjure work come to fruition. You worked with aspects of who you already are. One of the universal laws is that we are all one. That includes all of the elements. That includes all of your tools and materials. That includes the herbs that you use, the food, the water. That includes, everything, everything. And again, this is especially for my newer conjure women. As you really start to get in this and you make this as a part of your everyday life, you really want to build up your confidence. One thing that is necessary when you are doing any sort of conjure working, it is going to be confidence. It's not about belief. It's all about knowing. You have to know that the moment you let that flame and you spoke over it, that it already went to work for you. The energy already did it. You have to know that once you invoked that deity, when you asked that deity to come and to utilize its energy, you already have to know that it went to work for you. The saint, you have to already know that it went to work for you. And what helps anchor the knowing is when you are making sure to give yourself the praise when you actually see it come to fruition. Anytime that you are worshiping or praising something outside of yourself, you are giving this external thing power, when instead you could be giving yourself that power. You could be congratulating yourself, giving yourself the kudos, the high fives, the you go girl, you did that. You should be doing that to yourself to give yourself more power so that you can then go and do it again and then do it again and then elevate your life some more. That's why we use the craft. That's why I use it, at least. And I don't know about some of these other people. I know other people like to do it for other reasons, but I've mentioned it before. We take the upright path over here, and we only really engage in baneful work if we really need to. But the main goal is to ensure that your life gets better. So if you're going to put in that work, why not give yourself that praise? Why not boost up your own confidence? So if this did resonate with you, please feel free to drop it in the comments. I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear and just get the confirmation that, like, I know I didn't make it up. That's one thing. I know I didn't make up the message. I know I did not feel that from a collective of energy that has been putting in this effort and has been really conjuring and seeing their spells come to fruition, and yet they're not giving themselves, that reverence. I know that. But if it's you, or if you just at least resonate with it, girl, please let me know. Please let me know. Until next time.